gentlemen, can't wait to introduce to you my friend, Christopher Reed. All
right, I want to thank everybody for coming out here. Saturday we did a tea party in Keokuk in driving snow. Today it's rain. I think God is testing our will to see how far we're willing to go to rewrite this ship and put us back on the right course.
All the way.
Less than 70 hours ago, our elected officials in Washington strapped us with a bill that we, the people, do not want. I want to point out a campaign promise, another one that Obama broke. He lied. He promised us that every bill would have 5 days on a website for the public to inspect before he ever signed it into law. He waited less than 2 days to sign this bill into law. Now we're gathered here tonight in unison to stand up in one voice to say, no more, Mr. President, not without a fight. That's right! Now, this bill was never about health care. Our health was never a concern. And some of us have wasted a lot of time debating this issue, but we cannot waste precious time debating with liberal Democrats any longer. We must come together. We have to ask ourselves, are we going to stand up and let it happen, or are we going to stand by and let others do our bidding? Elections have consequences, as we have painfully seen. Now, we have another election coming up this November, and you as the voting public have a lot to think about. If you're tired of the bailouts, the rip-offs, the payoffs, the bribes, business as usual in Washington, it's time to stand up. Now, our founders spoke at great length about their posterity. When they created this country, they knew it was about more than them. It was about future generations. Now we have to decide, are we going to stand up? Are we going to stand in the gap for our posterity? Will we make that decision today? After the cowardly attacks on Pearl Harbor, the Japanese admiral said, "I'm afraid we've woken a sleeping giant." After the cowardly attacks on 9/11 to Washington and to New York, the world told the terrorists, "You've woken a sleeping giant." Now our government is usurping the Constitution and cowardly attacking our liberties. We have to stand up and say, "You have woken a sleeping giant." Mr. Obama is coming to Iowa City tomorrow to try to tout his health care bill. He's going to try to tell us the benefits of it, and if we don't agree with him, we're just not enlightened enough. But we can tell him we understand it, and it is a gateway to socialism. Now, I served in the United States Navy. They taught me principled leadership. They taught me leadership by example. They taught me that it's not always the easiest thing to do what's right. But when it needs to be done, that's what real leaders go out and do. That's what I'm going to do for you in Washington. I believe that if we're going to preserve this union, the era of the career politician must come to an end. That is why the first bill that I will author in Congress is going to be to enact term limits on all members of the U.S. House and the United States Senate. It must be done. I want you to get behind me. I will defend our future. Now let's go out and repeal this bill. Thank you very much.